I'm a little bit tired, you know. I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know because now I wanna think what next.
Right, that would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now it's just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay?
Looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Oleksandr Usyk shared his thoughts on Moses Itauma's bold call-out after that knockout win. Usyk admitted the young heavyweight has real talent, but made it clear he wants a break before making any decisions. He said he'll take his time to think about whether to face Itauma or pick a different opponent.
I am with him right now. He's speaking with Joseph Parker.
This time I wanna rest.
You want to rest?
Yeah, I wanna rest.
Holiday. Congratulations, champ. You were absolutely incredible tonight. Did you enjoy that performance?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Listen, I'm very happy. I train hard. 3.5 months. I not look my family, my children. Now I'm a little bit tired, you know. I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know because now I wanna think what next. What next? Who my next opponent? Because now I have time and think about my career and the next fight.
You're loved in Ukraine, but I really do think you are loved by us here as well, and it showed tonight.
Thank you so much. I love UK people because it's a special fans, you know.
And you know, the final thing, people are now going to start talking about you as one of the greatest of all time. Does that mean something to you, to be one of the very greatest fighters and heavyweights of all time?
Thank you so much, bro.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor didn't hold back on Twitter, saying, "White Tupid dive. You can't convince me that kid can beat Usyk." His comment lit up debates as fans argued if Itauma's win over Dillian Whyte was genuine dominance or not. Taylor's reaction shows his doubts about Itauma stepping up against champions like Usyk. Still, the idea of an old lion versus a young lion excites fans. Usyk brings years of skill and championship experience, while Itauma represents raw hunger, power, and ambition. The big question is simple. Can youthful energy really overpower wisdom and mastery in the ring?
Turki Usyk is demanding the Moses Itauma versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. That's the fight that he would like to make happen, as you guys just read in the caption. And let me counterpunch. That sounds good. You know, I think that Turki is looking for someone to beat Usyk. And Moses' name is just the next name up, especially in his own personal interest. It's not Joseph Parker. I don't know what's the deal with Parker. I don't know why he doesn't like Parker. Parker to me is more like a Jon Snow because, he gets in battles and he gets scrapes and bleeds and abrasions and battle scars, but he ends up victorious at the end of the day, right? So that's what Joseph Parker reminds me of. But I think that it should be in order. It should be in order to fight. I don't think that a guy with 13 fights is or should be awarded that type of fight. Now, if the fight happened, it would be pretty good. Southpaw versus Southpaw, old lion versus, young lion. And I know Moses would jump on the opportunity of getting it, and he may get it. Depends on how bad does Turki want it. Because if Turki really wants this fight, if he really, really wanted that fight, he's going to offer enough money for Usyk to go in there. Because I think it's about Usyk, not Moses. You know what I mean? And also something else you have to factor in is it's not all about what Turki wants. It's also, and it should be, about what the sanctioning bodies demand.
Moses Itauma hasn't backed down. boldly claiming his skills are better than Usyk's. That statement turned heads because Usyk is known as one of the most complete fighters of this era. With sharp movement, clean combinations, and the ability to adjust against anyone, Usyk is seen as elite. But at just 20 years old, Itauma believes his speed, power, and calmness can beat even a champion. Some call it overconfidence, but others see it as a fearless new generation ready to challenge legends.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I
I
think
do.
if my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Plenty of analysts aren't convinced Itauma should fight Usyk this early. Their argument is clear. Usyk has seen every style and faced the best heavyweights in the world. His ring IQ is on another level. Meanwhile, Itauma is only just beginning his pro career and still learning his craft.
Itauma can fight and beat the likes of Oleksandr Usyk, which everybody, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is stating that he would love to make a fight with Usyk and Moses Itauma. That's the fight to be made. Me personally, I think it's too early in his career. At 20 years old, Usyk knows all the tricks of the trade. Usyk is very athletic. Okay, he's a southpaw. He's slick. He knows how to buy time. He knows how to control distance and range. He has an extremely high ring IQ. I think that's a step too far for Moses Itauma right now, right? But this is what Turkey want to see, and obviously Moses has a puncher's chance. Okay, he has a puncher's chance to land a big punch on Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach. So Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance.
They also point out Itauma's biggest win came against Dillian Whyte, who was far past his prime and inactive. While the performance was impressive, they argue one win over a declining veteran doesn't justify throwing him straight into the deep end with Usyk. Instead, they suggest Itauma should test himself against fighters like Joseph Parker or other active contenders before taking the ultimate leap.
Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach. So Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance. But with that said, I just think that, that's a step too far. There's other names that I could see Moses Itauma fight. Fight the likes of Joseph Parker, right? Big Zhang, okay? There's names out there that he can fight, right? That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now is just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay? I think that, we need to allow this young man to grow, right? And then, we talk about Usyk. The problem is Usyk is 39, 40 years of age.
Trainer Ben Davison sees things differently. To him, a fight between Usyk and Itauma would be a unique opportunity for both. He says Usyk has never faced a young heavyweight with Itauma's speed, power, and fearlessness. From Davison's perspective, this matchup could test Itauma's courage while also forcing Usyk into new and uncomfortable territory. Every great fighter eventually meets a new challenge, and Itauma could be that moment for Usyk.
I'm sure you would have seen that Ring Magazine have put out a tweet tonight or an Instagram post saying that they've been informed that Turkey wants to see Usyk and Moses next. What do you think about that?
Let's see. He's just had a big fight. I think,
Is he ready for that in your opinion? Just your opinion. Is he ready for?
I think it's one of them fights where it's a win-win. The experience he'd gain from it, the opportunity to really, if Usyk was to box Dillian Whyte, people wouldn't say it would be a one-round job. before tonight had happened. And I think, what he'd learned from it, the opportunity. And as much as Moses hasn't been in there with somebody like Usyk hasn't been in there with someone like Moses either.
Derek Chisora has been more blunt. He advises Itauma to stay away from Usyk for now. His reasoning is that Itauma is too young, and chasing older or inactive legends isn't the best way to build a career. Chisora, who has faced many top names himself, knows the danger of rushing into big fights. He believes Itauma should focus on fighting active contenders at his own level, building experience the right way.
Interview is going to go out after the fight. So let's say Dillian does get the win. Who do you want to see him with next?
Don't know. If Dillian wins it, I'll be taking out.
And what about Moses? What next for him? Is it Oleksandr Usyk?
Huh?
If Moses gets the win, what next? Is it Oleksandr Usyk or is that too soon?
To leave Usyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man. Different beast. Different beast.
Derek, what next for you? When are we going to see you next in the ring?
Right now, I'm going to go sit down on the ringside and enjoy the fight.
Joseph Parker offered a more balanced take. He says a fight between Usyk and Itauma could happen, but the decision rests with Usyk. As a champion, Usyk has earned the right to decide his next move. Parker explains that if Usyk is willing, talks will follow, but both sides need to carefully consider timing and circumstances before agreeing.
I am with Joseph Parker. Yeah, what did you make of that, Joseph?
Explosive and quick. Faster than a lot of people thought. We thought it was going to be 3-4 rounds, and if it gets past that, it'll be a bit harder fight. But one round, every fighter wants to come out and be explosive and knock out their opponent and go home and chill.
It's silly of me to say, do you want Moses next? Because really, you want Oleksandr Usyk, don't you?
Yeah, I want Usyk next. I know Usyk's deserves his time to relax and chill with his family. When he's ready, I'd love to open up negotiations and see if we can make the fight happen.
Does that extension clause with the sanctioning body give you more hope that it may well happen?
You just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's an extension to buy more time to an injury, and hopefully, when he does decide to come back, then we can negotiate, and if we can make it happen, it'll be awesome.
Listen, we love you, and you're all about you, and we want you to be a world champion again, and I think you will be. But just say a final word on what we've witnessed tonight in the 20-year-olds who may be the coming force eventually.
Listen, he did a tremendous job. I'm just watching it now. I don't really see it properly, but he, power.
Promoter Frank Warren is enthusiastic about the idea, but cautious at the same time. He admits the matchup is appealing and could draw interest, especially with Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh backing big events. But Warren insists nothing is planned yet. He says every party from Usyk's camp to Itauma's team has to agree on the right timing. Fans may be excited, but Warren wants it to be done properly.
Exclusive for you is that the WBO about a month ago put out that Joe Parker, who's their interim champion, has to challenge against Usyk, and Usyk has to defend against him. He's put a letter into yesterday stating, so I found out today, stating that he's asked him for an extension period because he's injured before being ordered to do anything. But whatever happens, the fact of life is that Joe Parker will either fight as champion if Usyk vacates the title, or he will fight Usyk for the title. So it's exciting times. If Moses were to win, or even if Dillian wins, whoever wins that fight, they're in the one spot. And if the fight doesn't happen with Usyk and Joe, then Joe will have to fight the official #1 contender.
Gosh, so that should be really fascinating, shouldn't it? Thank you for that little bit of exclusive there. So are you just telling us there in that exclusive that Usyk's got an injury at the moment then? That's what he's coping with at the moment?
His camp have written to asked him for a period of time to before they have to defend the titles.
Eddie Hearn praised Itauma's performance, but also sympathized with Whyte. He noted Whyte got a good payday, though the results shocked many. For Itauma, the win was career-changing, but Hearn feels it should be treated as a stepping stone, not a fast track into the ring with Usyk.
Tonight, you don't seem as impressed or sad?
No, of course impressed. Very impressed, but just a bit sad for Dillian. Like, he shouldn't really have been in there, if I'm honest, but what? You know that. You know that.
Lee, what you've got to say?
That's not what I said first. No. No.
Special kid, Moses.
Yeah, of course he is, but I don't think you know, like, that was the worst matchup for him with no activity, and I felt like that was always going to happen.
Dillian Whyte's great. That would have looked similar to that stylistically.
He's brilliant, brilliant. But I found it, knowing Dillian and everything, at 38 years old, I found it quite hard to watch.
I just have to ask, whilst he's there, the Warrington fight, are we going to see that next?
Yeah, we love the fight. You know, I mean, the problem is with Lee Wood, fuck me, I gave him some money. Jesus Christ. And now, obviously, every fight has its value, I always say. And that's a big value fight. It's a great fight for both. Listen, it's the final roll of the dice for both. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'll be interested to see how it plays out. We're definitely interested in making it happen.
Talksport analysts have been debating the next step for Itauma. They agree a fight with Usyk would be massive, but argue Itauma should first face someone like Joseph Parker or another proven heavyweight. They say the win over Whyte showed potential, but not enough to prove he can handle a living legend like Usyk.
We go with him now. It wouldn't surprise me if they put him in a world title fight in 2 fights' time.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what Oleksandr Usyk's been given this extension with the WBO title. Joseph Parker obviously is the interim champion. Parker may take another route. He's very well ranked in the WBC as well. You don't know, you know, of all these moving parts. And like you say, the main man, Turki Al-Sheikh, the guy that puts the money up, he will decide what he wants to do there. But if that WBO title becomes vacant, don't be surprised that you do not see Joseph Parker fighting for that title, but you see a vacant title going in with Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic. That's the fight I could see for the vacant title.
For all the patience that Moses showed tonight, for all the precision he showed to put Dillian Whyte away, we still don't know what's going to happen when he's in the trenches, do we?
It's always the case, isn't it? You know, whenever you get a fantastic young talent coming through. I remember they said it's about Naz all those years
and Bruno.
ago. Bruno, you know, the list goes on. It's a long one. And there will be somebody somewhere who can take the shots and who will put it on him. And then the questions will be asked, and it's whether or not he's got the answers. There'll be people out there. Somebody will do it.
Despite the doubts, one thing is certain. Moses Itauma has shown incredible promise at just 20 years old. His knockout over Whyte wasn't only about the finish, but the way he carried himself in the ring. His speed, composure, and ability to grab the moment proved he's a serious talent. Fans and experts are already calling him one of the brightest prospects in the division. Whether he fights Usyk soon or takes the slower route, Itauma has announced himself as a future force in heavyweight boxing.
In the world. Oh my goodness. I mean, let's be honest. We all expected Moses to win, but not in 2 minutes. The man annihilated Dillian Whyte in 2 minutes, and the man, I mean, listen. Let me give you the truth about Moses Itauma. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Speed kills. And Moses Itauma is one of the fastest heavyweights I have ever seen in my life. Is he faster than Mike Tyson? Of course not. But for this generation and this era, he is the fastest and youngest heavyweight that we have in our generation. Now Moses Itauma, oh my God, southpaw, deadly puncher, lightning quick, intelligent, smart, cerebral at just 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. And even if you think about it, the man has been dangerous. I mean, he just knocked out Dillian Whyte a few minutes ago.